Have you ever been in a situation where you truly felt scared and unprotected and you didn't know what to do? I want to tie that question into this week's Parsha of Vayeitzei, which speaks about how when Yaakov left his land, he stopped in a certain place to go to sleep. And he put rocks around his head to protect himself. And during the night, he had a dream that a ladder was going from earth to heaven with angels going up and down. And when he awoke from the dream, he said, if I had only known that this was a place where God was found, I would not have gone to sleep. Our sages tell us that in this story, Yaakov put these stones around his head because of his fear of the unknown. And he felt that that would protect him. Once I was taking some young children camping in the mountains of California, and there were a lot of black bears roaming the campgrounds. And all the kids had a tent that they could sleep in, but I had to sleep under a tree, unprotected. And I felt extremely vulnerable and scared of these bears, that they would grab my head and just like pull me through the forest. Now, as irrational as that might be, I understood that fear, and I thought about this story with Yaakov. And if I had just had something to surround my head, my sense of intellect, I would have felt protected. And I think this is part of the answer to this whole dilemma of what Yaakov was doing. He put the stones around his head, which is the sense of intellect, that his intellect should control his emotions, his fear. And when he awoke, he said, if I had only known that God was in this place. The word that's used there is hamakom, this place, which represents the idea that God is everywhere. If his intellect had been able to overwhelm and to control his emotions, to tell him that God is everywhere and protects him at every moment, then he wouldn't have had that trepidation and fear. So we can take this lesson for ourselves and recognize that when we are put into difficult situations, we should remember that God is everywhere around us, and we should not be afraid, because we should trust in God to protect us. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom.